are in Lesson 1, Oracle Data Integration Overview. Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Data Integration is a fully managed serverless cloud service built on Oracle's second generation cloud infrastructure, offering speed, reliability, and security. It combines all the elements of data integration like data movement, data synchronization, data quality, data management, and data services to make sure that information is timely, accurate, and consistent across heterogeneous and complex systems. This course will help you understand the Oracle Data Integration Service and introduce you to the various supported features. Hi, I'm Sharon, instructor at Oracle University, working on various Oracle database and Oracle cloud based products. After completing this lesson, you should be able to describe data integration service, explain the concepts of data integration, explain the data integration user activities. In this first section, I shall walk you through the overview of the data integration service. What is Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Data Integration Service? It's a next generation, cloud native, Oracle managed ETL service which enables you to extract, transform, and load large volumes of data from different sources quickly into modern data platform. It has compelling features like zero code designer, preview data transformations, serverless ETL pay as you go, making it easier and faster to move the data into the cloud. Data Integration Service has the capability to ingest and manipulate large volumes of structured and unstructured data faster into Oracle Cloud autonomous databases and data lakes. It allows you to analyze data so that you can generate better insights and make effective business decisions based on the data collected. It simplifies integration within the various tools in the Oracle Cloud infrastructure ecosystem. The other features include the options to build data flows and rules to convert information into a meaningful format, automatic validation of connections, and handling of schema drift to ensure that database sources and targets are connected and the integration flow code is designed correctly. The different types of data professionals who use Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Data Integration include the administrators who oversee, manage, and monitor lifecycle management and security policies for the service. Next, the data engineers and ETL developers who develop, build, and test data integration solutions. Then, the operators who manage, monitor, and diagnose data integration executions. The concepts in data integration service include workspace, project, folder, data asset, connection, data entry, schema, data flow, operator, parameter, task, application, patch, and task run. In the upcoming section, I shall walk you through these concepts. The three containers that are part of OCI DI include workspace, project, and folder. Workspace acts as the container for all data integration resources like projects, folders, data assets, tasks, data flows, and applications are associated with data integration solution. Project is the container used to design time resources such as tasks or data flows. Folder is the container within a project or another folder to organize the design time resources. Data asset represents a data source which acts as a physical store that contains data sources metadata and connection details. Connection holds all the information needed to establish a connection to a data source. Note that a connection is always associated to one data asset, whereas data asset can have more than one connection. Data entity is the collection of data, such as a database table or view, or a single logical file having many attributes to describe its data. As you are already aware, schema is a collection of data entities within a data asset. Data flow defines the flow of data and any operations on the data between the source and target systems. Operator represents the different input, output, and shaping tools used in a data flow design. Parameter is used to set default parameter values at design time in the data flow design and then update them at runtime, either during the integration task or before running the task. Let us learn about few more concepts in OCI DIS. Task is the design time resource that is used to specify a set of actions to perform on data. It is used to create the integration or data loader task and to publish tasks into an application so that you will be able to test them. Application is another container in data integration service that is used to do runtime artifacts such as the tasks that you publish along with their dependencies. Patch is used to either publish a new task, update, or unpublish an existing task. Task run is a runtime artifact that represents the execution of an integration or a data loader task. In the next section, let us learn about the various user activities in data integration service. A typical workflow of the user activities that you can perform as a data integration user is shown here. You can access a workspace by opening the data integration instance. Next, you can create a data asset by registering the data sources as data integration data assets. You can add new connections to data assets. You can create projects and folders to organize the design time artifacts. Then you can create a data flow by designing it. You can further integrate by creating an integration task. You can create a data loader task by using the Create Task option. After creating, you can publish tasks to applications for testing and execution. You can also run a task and monitor the progress of a task run. We have come to the end of lesson 1. In this lesson, you should have learned about data integration service, the concepts of data integration, about data integration user activities. There are no practices for this lesson. Thank you. You are in lesson 2, preparing for data integration connectivity. This lesson will help you understand the network configuration and the data integration policies of DIS. After completing this lesson, you should be able to describe networking, explain the network component configurations, create resources, identify the policies for data integration users, identify the policies for data integration access to resources. In this section, you will learn about the networking component configurations. Cloud networking introduces a new way to deploy and manage networks. It delivers enterprise class network management capabilities for Wi Fi access points, switches, and routers. It is done using a cloud infrastructure that requires little or no capital investment in additional hardware and software platforms or in IT resources. It simplifies highly complex tasks helping organizations to deploy locations in minutes and providing unprecedented levels of centralized control and network visibility. Cloud networking also allows seamless growth without bottlenecks caused by products, and it supports headquarters and remote locations alike, significantly reducing the need for local intervention and track roles. Let me brief you on the configuration of networking components. The first step is to set up a virtual cloud network or VCN for the cloud resources. VCN is a virtual private network that can be set up in Oracle data centers. It is similar to a traditional network with firewall rules and specific types of communication gateways that you can choose to use. It resides in a single Oracle Cloud Infrastructure region and covers a single contiguous IPv4 CIDR block of the choice. You define subdivisions in a VCN. Subnets contain virtual network interface cards which attach to instances. This slide lists the network component configurations based on the source and target data assets using the data integration service. This slide is the continuation of the previous slide. This slide is the continuation of the previous slide. In the next section, you will understand the resource creation methods. You have the facility to create resources such as workspaces. First, use the private IPs defined in any subnet to access other private resources in different VCNs and regions through service or NAT gateways by using local or remote peering gateways. Then, combine the gateways for accessing object storage and autonomous data warehouse. To tell an example, you will need both service gateway for object storage and NAT gateway are required to establish public connectivity for autonomous data warehouse. If you want to create resources for data integration activities, you need to perform the steps shown here. First, create a compartment in tenancy for data integration activities. Then, create a VCN with at least one subnet in the compartment. Lastly, create a group for users in charge of workspaces and add users to the group. Here is just an example of a VCN creation. You have to choose VCN with internet connectivity and click Start VCN Wizard. Then, you review the components and click Create. In the upcoming section, let us learn the different policies available for the DI users. Policies are created to control the user access to data integration along with the access level for each group of users. By default, only users in the administrators group have access to all data integration resources. Data integration offers two resource types, namely aggregate and individual resource types for writing policies. You can use aggregate resource types to write fewer policies. To tell an example, instead of allowing a group to manage DIS workspaces and DIS work requests, you can choose to write a policy that allows the group to manage the aggregate resource type DIS family as shown here. You can create a policy for a compartment and add the statements as shown in the slide. The Allow group to manage DIS workspaces in compartment statement gives permission to the group to manage data integration workspaces. The Allow group to manage DIS work requests in compartment statement gives permission to the group to check the status while creating a workspace. Note that the users with a managed permission for DIS workspaces can create and delete workspaces, and the user with the use permission can only perform integration activities within workspaces. The Allow group group name to manage virtual network family in compartment statement gives permission to the group to manage networking resources in the compartment. The allow group name to manage tag namespaces in compartment statement gives permission to the group to manage tag namespaces and tags for workspaces. As you can see in this slide, the policies for the workspace and work requests can be implemented. In this last section, let us learn the different policies available for the resources. You can have data integration in a different tenancy from the resources. To run a data integration task, data integration sends a request to the tenancy. In return, tenancy must give the data integration permission to manage the virtual networks that have been set up already for integration. You can create data integration workspaces in the same region as the network and securely access the networks through private IP addresses. Note that the data integration fails to accept the request without a policy. To allow data integration access to resources and perform integration tasks after enabling a private network connection, perform the steps shown here. In the console navigation menu, under Governance and Administration, go to Identity and then select Policies. Click Create Policy. Enter a name and description. From the compartment drop-down list, select the root tenancy or desired compartment. Copy the respective policy into Statement 1. Allow service data integration to use virtual network family in compartment and give your compartment name. The second step is optional. Click plus another statement and then copy the second policy into Statement 2. Allow service data integration to inspect compartments in compartment and the target compartment name. And the next optional step is that if you have federated users, click plus another statement and then copy the third policy into Statement 3. Allow service data integration to inspect users in tenancy. Then click Create. Here is an example of the policy implementation to access the resources. We have come to the end of lesson 2. In this lesson, you should have learned about networking, the network component configurations, creating resources, the policies for data integration users, the policies for data integration access to resources. Thank you. You are in lesson 3, organizing resources using workspace. After completing this lesson, you should be able to describe a workspace, create a workspace, access and navigate a workspace, edit a workspace, list the steps to add tags to a workspace, view a workspace tags, move workspaces to a different compartment, view a workspace status, stop, start, and terminate a workspace. In this section, you will understand what is workspace. What is a workspace? It's an organizational construct to keep multiple data integration solutions. It contains the resources of TI solutions, including data assets, data flows, tasks, and so on. It also separates the resources from each other and helps to stay organized. In this section, you will learn to create a workspace. You can access the Data Integration Service under Data and AI in the console navigation menu. If you want to create a workspace using the console, perform the steps as shown here. First, click Create Workspace on the Data Integration Workspaces page. You need to provide a name and short description for the workspace in the name and optional description fields. If you want to enable a private network connection, select the Enable Private Network checkbox in the Network Selections section. If you opt to enable a private network for the workspace, select the VCN and subnet or DNS server IP and zone where the data sources reside. In the tags section, which is optional, add tags to help you search for data integration resources within your tenancy. Then click Create. As you can see in this example, you can enter the workspace name and the VCN information. After entering, you can click Create to create a workspace. In this section, you will learn to access and navigate a workspace. You can access Workspace from the Workspaces page. If you want to access a workspace in the console, open the navigation menu and select the Data Integration option under Data and AI. Select the respective workspace from the Workspaces list to view the content of the workspace. You can also choose to select View Details from the Workspace actions. That is, the three dots menu to view the content of the workspace. As you see here, this is the Data Integration workspace name, and you can see the status as active. And when you click the three dots menu, you can view the details of the workspace. Now, let us learn to navigate through a workspace. The workspace homepage consists of two tiles, Learn and Quick Actions. Learn is used to display the list of resources which are helpful while you work with data integration. Quick Actions is used to display the different resources which are used to start the planning and designing of the data integration solution. The Open tab, that is the plus icon on the tab, has the options to access data assets, projects, and applications and monitor task runs. You can find the navigation links for each resource at the top of the home page. Next, let us learn about managing tabs and using breadcrumbs. The Manage tab, that is the gear icon, is used to search open tabs, navigate to other open tabs, or close tabs during data integration sessions. Breadcrumbs are the hyperlinks present at the top of the tabs. They help you to understand the current step and facilitate to navigate up the hierarchy within the data integration. As you see in this screenshot, the plus icon on the top left corner is used to access DI resources, and the gear icon on the top right corner is used to manage tabs and breadcrumbs. Below the plus icon, you can find the Learn tab and the Quick Actions tab. Though you have the option to edit the details of the workspace name or description, you can't edit the identifier, private network connection, compartment, VCN, or subnet selections. If you wish to edit the tags applied to a workspace, select the Add Tags option from the Workspace action menu. If you want to edit a workspace in the console, select the Edit option from the Workspace Actions menu and edit the fields that need a change. After editing, click Save Changes. As you see in this screenshot, you can find the Edit option on the right side of the workspace name. When you click Edit, the Edit tab opens. You can edit the workspace name and description using the Edit tab. Note that the VCN and subnet editing are disabled. Now, you will learn to add tags to a workspace. What are tags? Tags enable you to organize resources in the tenancy. If you wish to add tags to a workspace in the console, on the Workspaces page, select a workspace for which you want to add tags. Select the Add Tags option from the Workspace Actions, that is the three dots menu. Choose a tag namespace and enter the tag key and value. If you want to add more tags, click Additional Tag option. Finally, click Add Tags. As you see in this screenshot, you can select the Add Tag option, enter the tag key and value, and then click Add Tag. The View Tags dialog box enables you to check both defined and free-form tags added to the workspace. If you wish to view a workspace tags in the console, go to the Workspaces page and select a workspace whose tags you want to view. Select the View Tags option from the Workspace Actions, that is three dots menu. As you see in this screenshot, select the View Tags option and view the associated tag key and value. In this section, you will learn to move workspaces to a different compartment. DIS allows you to move data integration workspaces from one compartment to another. When you move a workspace to a new compartment, all data integration resources within that workspace, such as data assets, data flows, tasks, applications, and task runs, are also moved. Before moving the workspace, ensure that you add the policy Allow service data integration to inspect compartments in compartment to check whether the target compartment is in a good state after the workspace is moved. Once you move the workspace to a new compartment, all inherent policies apply immediately and affect access to the workspace through the console. To move a workspace in the console, first select the Move Resource option from the Workspace Actions menu. Then pick the compartment to move the workspace to. After that, click Move Resource. As you see in the screenshot, click Move Resource option from the Action menu and change the compartment name to which the workspace has to be moved. Then click Move Resource. In DIS, you can perform actions like create, start, stop, or terminate on a workspace. To do that, select the View Status option from the Workspace Actions menu to check more detailed status update. This View Status dialog box contains a progress bar along with the statuses as mentioned here. Queued means the request was accepted, but the action hasn't started yet. In progress indicates that the action is being performed. Completed indicates that the action was performed and it is finished successfully. Failed indicates that the action has failed to complete. As you see here, when you click on the View Status option, you can view the current status of the workspace chosen. Here, the status is active in this example. In this section, let us learn how to stop, start, and terminate a workspace. If you stop a workspace, it means that the workspace and its contents are unavailable to use and you will not be billed until you restart it. If you wish to stop a workspace in the console, on the Workspaces page, select the workspace you want to stop in the list. Select the Stop option from the Workspace Action menu. In the Stop Workspace dialog box, for wait time for task runs to complete, enter the amount of time in minutes to wait before stopping the workspace. Then select Force Stop Active Task Runs when wait time expires to enable Force Stop. Then click Stop. Don't forget that force stopping an active task run could result in data inconsistencies in the target data entity. If force stop is not selected, data integration attempts to stop the workspace and only active task runs until the wait time expires. If there are still active task runs when the wait time expires, the workspace remains active. As you see in this example, choose the stop option, then enter the wait time in minutes and click stop. As mentioned earlier, Stopping a workspace means the workspace and its contents are unavailable to use and you will not be billed until you restart it. The workspace becomes accessible when the status is changed to active. If you start a stopped workspace, billing as per use will resume. If you want to start a workspace in the console, go to the Workspaces page and select the workspace you want to start in the list. Select the Start option from the Stopped Workspaces Actions menu. Confirm that you want to start the workspace. Click Start. You can terminate only the workspaces having an active status. When you terminate a workspace, remove all associated objects and resources like datasets, projects, folders, data flows, tasks, applications, and task runs. Note that you should stop all task runs within a workspace before terminating a workspace. If there are open tabs associated with the terminating workspace, those tabs are closed upon termination. Once you terminate, you can't restore a workspace. So, carefully review the workspace and resources before committing to termination. If you wish to terminate a workspace in the console, close all open tabs in the workspace under termination. On the Workspaces page, select the workspace you want to terminate. Select the Terminate option from the Stopped Workspaces Actions menu. Then click Terminate. As you see in the screenshot, choose the Terminate option and click Terminate to terminate a workspace permanently. We have come to the end of Lesson 3. In this lesson, you should have learned how to describe a workspace, create a workspace, access and navigate a workspace, edit a workspace, add tags to a workspace, view a workspace tags, move workspaces to a different compartment, view a workspace status, stop, start, and terminate a workspace. There is a practice for this lesson 3. Practice 3.1 will help you understand how to access a workspace. Thank you. Practice 3.1 Accessing a workspace. In this practice, you will navigate to the Data Integration workspace and also explore various actions that can be performed using the workspace. Assuming that the Data Integration workspace is pre-created and URL is shared along with the credentials to access, you can follow the steps shown in this video. Open the Data Integration workspace URL. The credentials are provided by your instructor. Enter the username and the associated password. Click Sign in. The workspace homepage appears. You can create a data asset and connect the data sources using Create Data Asset. You can create a project folder using Create Project. To create data flows, apply the transformations for loading the data from source tables to the target by using the Create Data Flow. To create the integration and data loader task, create a new application by using the Create options. To monitor the execution of the task, you can use Monitor Task Runs. Thank you. You are in Lesson 4. working with data assets and projects. After completing this lesson, you should be able to describe data assets, identify the supported data sources for data assets, create data asset, create and edit a connection, describe data asset details, edit and delete a data asset, use projects, and use folders. In the first section, you will understand what is data asset and the data sources that are supported for data assets. What are data assets? Data assets represent data sources that are used as sources and targets for data integration solutions. Data assets can be databases, flat files, and so on. When we create a data asset, we specify one default connection. A connection, which is a user password combination, is used to connect to the data source. We have the option to review or update the data asset's name, description, and tags from the data assets details page. The supported data sources for data assets are listed in the next few slides. Oracle Database and Oracle Database on OCI are supported as both source and target from version 12.1 onwards. Exadata database systems are supported from version 12.1 onwards, whereas Oracle Object Storage is supported from the latest version only. The versions supported for both Autonomous Data Warehouse and Autonomous Transaction Processing as source and target are 18C and 19C. The object types supported for the Oracle Object Storage in DIS are JSON, Parquet, and CSV. The Oracle database data types like row ID, urow ID, bfile, timestamp with local time zone, interval day to second, interval year to month, XML type, SDO geometry are not yet supported in DIS. In the next few slides, you will learn to create various types of data assets. When you create a data asset, you have to select the data source type and provide the details of the corresponding connection. The connect fields might vary for each type of data asset. Hence, be sure to use the appropriate instructions for the data asset type. To create a data asset, you have the option to either use the console or the APIs. You can create the data assets of the types like Oracle Database Data Asset, Oracle Object Storage Data Asset, Autonomous Data Warehouse, or Autonomous Transaction Processing Data Asset as well. To create an Oracle Database Data Asset, you need to perform the steps shown here. On the Workspace homepage, select Create Data Asset from the Quick Action style. Alternatively, you can also click Create on the Data Assets page. On the Create Data Asset page, enter a name and an optional description. In the Data Asset Type drop-down list, select Oracle Database. Enter the host name and port of the data asset. Select a service type, which is either a service name or SID, and then enter the details into the corresponding field. Under Default Connection Settings, enter a name and an optional description. It should be followed by the username and password for the default connection to the data asset. After filling all the required fields, click Test Connection. A success or failure message appears indicating whether the test was successful or not. If the test fails, review your connection settings and try again. Click Save. To create an Oracle Object Storage data asset, go to the Workspace homepage and select Create Data Asset from the Quick Action style. Alternatively, you can also click Create on the Data Assets page. On the Create Data Asset page, Enter a name and an optional description. In the Data Asset Type drop-down list, select Oracle Object Storage. Enter the URL for the Oracle Object Storage resource in the format shown here. For example, the region identifier can be US_Phoenix. Then, enter the namespace for the object storage bucket. In place of tenant OCID, you should enter the Oracle Cloud ID of the tenancy. You can find the tenancy OCID under Tenancy Information from the Profile menu in the console. Under Default Connection Settings, enter the name and an optional description, and then enter the username and password for the default connection to the data asset. Once you complete filling all the required fields, click Test Connection. You will get either success or failure message indicating whether the test was successful or not. If the test fails, you need to review your connection settings and try again. Finally, click Create. Note that you can identify the object storage data source that you set up as a source or target dataset in data integration by its region ID, namespace, and bucket name. Even if the region IDs, namespaces, and bucket names are different in your source and target data assets, you won't encounter any issues. For example, if the source and target have the same bucket name but different region IDs and namespaces, or if they have the same namespace but different region IDs and different bucket names, then also you won't encounter any issues. As you see in the first screenshot, you can find the Create Data Asset page under Data Integration. In that page, enter the name and the identifier of the data asset. The other inputs are shown in the second screenshot. Here, you can give the inputs like asset type, URL, namespace, tenant OCID, and its name. Having created an object storage data asset, let us now learn to create an ADW or ATP data asset. If you want to use ADW or Autonomous Transaction Processing as the source or target data asset, the DBA must issue the grant execute and the grant DW role privileges to you in data integration. To create an ADW or Autonomous Transaction Processing data asset, on the Workspace's homepage, select Create Data Asset from the Quick Action style. Then, on the Create Data Asset page, enter a name and an optional description. Choose the data asset type as Oracle Autonomous Data Warehouse or Oracle Autonomous Transaction Processing from the drop-down list. Select the Autonomous Data Warehouse or Autonomous Transaction Processing Database for service name. Then click Select File or drag a wallet file to the drop file space for credential file. After entering all the required fields, click Test Connection. You will either get a success or failure message indicating whether the test was successful or not. If the test fails, review your connection settings and try again. Click Save. When you use ADW or ATP as the target in a data flow design, you should select an object storage bucket as the staging location. When you use this target, ensure that you enable the par_manage permission on the staging bucket. Also, you need the policy allow any user to par_manage in compartment where all request.principal.type equals DIS workspace in order to allow ADW as the target. Here is an example of an ADW asset. Give the name, identifier, and description of the ADW asset you want to create. Upload the wallet file as shown here. Give the target name and the associated username and password and test the connection. In this section, you will learn to create a connection. When you create a data asset, it is mandatory to provide the default connection details. If required, you can create additional connection. You need to perform the steps shown here to create a connection. In the tab bar, click Open tab, that is the plus icon, and then select Data Assets. On the Data Assets page, select the data asset for which you want to add a connection. On the Data Asset Details page, click Create Connection and then complete the fields in the Create Connection panel as needed. Once all required fields are completed successfully, click Test Connection to ensure that a connection can be established. Then click Save. You can edit the connections from a Data Assets Details page. There are few steps to edit a connection. In the tab bar, click the Open tab, there is a plus icon, and then select Data Assets. On the Data Assets page, select the data asset for which you want to add a connection. On the Data Asset Details page, in the Connections list, select Edit from the Connections actions. That is the three dots menu. In the Edit Connection panel, edit the fields you want to change. Click Test Connection to ensure that a connection can be established. Click Save Connection. Here is the screenshot of the Edit Connection tab. Enter the name of the connection, the associated username and password, and click Test Connection to verify the connection. In this section, you will get an insight of the details of the data asset. In the Data Assets page, you can view a list of all the data assets in the workspace, and you can select the data asset to view its details. The Data Asset Details page enables you to view its summary information and access connections, schemas, and data entities. The summary view helps you to review the data assets details and connections. You can designate a different connection as the default, choose to create, edit, or delete a connection. You can select schemas in the Data Assets Detail page to view the available schemas list through the data assets connections. Choose a schema to view its data entities. What are data entities? The Schema Details page shows a list of data entities available for the selected schema. Select a data entity to view attributes. When viewing a CSV data entity from an Oracle Object Storage data asset, you can see a set of formatting parameter options. It provides an option to specify how to parse the attributes retrieved. You can specify if you want to include the header, encoding, escape character, delimiter, and code character. You can click Get Attributes if you want to fetch the data entity's attributes. As you see in this example, you can view the list of data entities in the Schema tab, and you can view the attributes for a particular entity by clicking Get Attributes. You can edit a data asset either from the Data Assets page in the console, or you can choose to update a data asset using the APIs. When you edit a data asset, you can modify the data asset's details, select or add new connections, and change the default connection. Perform the steps listed in the slide to edit a data asset. First, in the tab bar, click the Open tab, the plus icon, and then select Data Assets. Secondly, on the Data Assets page, select a data asset from the list and then click Edit. Thirdly, on the Edit Data Asset page, modify the data asset details, select or add new connections, or select a new default connection. Finally, click Save. Note that you can also open the Data Assets Actions menu and select Edit. Once you save your changes, you will be landed at the Data Assets page. The upcoming section will walk you through the steps to delete a dataset. There are few points that you must know before deleting an asset. When you delete a data asset, its connections are deleted permanently and those connections can never be restored. You can delete a data asset by using the console or the APIs. Perform the steps listed in the slide to delete a data asset. In the tab bar, click the Open tab, the plus icon, and then select Data Assets. On the Data Assets page, select the data asset you want to delete and then click Delete. Alternatively, you can also select Delete from the Data Assets Actions menu. Confirm to delete the data asset and its connections. Then click Delete. In this section, you will learn to create, view, edit, and delete projects. You can access the projects page by using the navigation link on the home page or by selecting projects from the Open tab menu in the tab bar. Existing projects are listed on the projects page and can filter the list by project name. Perform the steps listed here to create a project. Click Create Project on the projects page as shown in the screenshot. On the Create Project page, give the project a name and an optional description. Then click Create. In the tab bar, click Open tab icon and then select Projects. You can also click the Projects navigation link on the home page to do the same. As shown in the screenshot, select a project on the Projects page to open its Details page. You can also select View Details from the Project's Actions menu. To edit a project, click Open tab in the tab bar and then select Projects. You can also click the Projects navigation link on the home page. On the Projects page, select Edit from the Actions menu for the project you want to edit. Alternatively, you can also select a project to open the Project Details page and then click Edit. Edit either the name or description as shown in the screenshot and save changes. When you delete a project, it also deletes the resources it contains. Once you delete, it cannot be restored. Make sure to review all contained resources before deleting the project. Follow the steps listed here to delete a project. In the tab bar, click Open tab and then select Projects. Alternatively, you can also click the Projects navigation link on the home page. On the Projects page, select Delete from the Actions menu of the project you want to delete. Alternatively, you can also select a project to open its Details page and then click Delete. In the Delete Project dialog box, confirm to delete the project and its resources. Then click Delete. In the last section, you will explore folders in data integration. You can create folders in a project or in another folder with a maximum of up to 2 levels of folders. To access your folders, you must first navigate to the projects page, select the parent project the folder belongs to, and then select folders in the sub-menu on the project's detail page. To create a folder, perform the steps listed here. In the tab bar, click Open tab and then select Projects. On the Projects page, select a project in which to create a folder. On the Project Details page, select folders from the submenu. On the Folders page, click Create Folder. In the Create Folder panel, give the folder a name and an optional description. Select View Details upon creation to open the folder's details page after the folder is created. Then click Create. As you see in the screenshot, you can go to the Create Folder panel and give the folder name, identifier, and an optional description. Then click Create to create the folder. Let me brief you now how to view the details of a folder. It is much similar to viewing project details. You can create and view resources contained in the folder using the submenus on the left. To view the details of the folder, perform the steps listed here. In the tab bar, click Open tab and then select Projects. Alternatively, you can also click the project's navigation link on the home page. On the Projects page, select a project in which to create a folder. On the Project Details page, select Folders in the submenu. In the Folders list, select the folder whose details you want to view. The Folder Details page appears. As you see in the screenshot, you can view the folder for any project you choose. In this example, the folder integration is displayed for the project_data integration. You can edit a folder by performing the steps listed here. In the tab bar, click Open tab and then select Projects. Alternatively, you can also click the project's navigation link on the home page. On the Projects page, select the project where the folder resides. On the Project Details page, select Folders from the submenu. In the Folders list, select Edit from the Actions menu of the folder you want to edit. If the folder you want to edit is in another folder, select the parent folder from the list. Alternatively, you can also select the folder to open its details page and then click Edit. In the Edit folder panel, edit the name or description. Then click Save Changes. As you see in this example, you can select the Edit option for any folder and the tab appears similar to the screenshot shown here. When you delete a folder, you also delete the design time resources and other folders it contains. Once you delete a folder, it cannot be restored. To delete a folder, perform the steps listed here. In the tab bar, click Open tab and then select Projects. On the Projects page, select the project where the folder resides. On the Project Details page, select Folders from the submenu. In the Folders list, select Delete from the Actions menu of the folder you want to edit. If the folder under deletion is in another folder, select the parent folder from the list. Alternatively, you can also select the folder to open its details page and then click Delete. In the Delete Folder dialog box, confirm to delete the folder and the resources it contains. Finally, click Delete. We have come to the end of Lesson 4. In this lesson, you should have learned how to describe data assets, identify the supported data sources for data assets, create data asset, create and edit a connection, describe data asset details, edit and delete a data asset, use projects, and use folders. There is a practice 4.1 for this lesson. Creating data assets and projects in Oracle Data Integration. Thank you. Practice 4.1. Creating data assets and projects in Oracle Data Integration. In this practice, you will create data assets for object storage and autonomous data warehouse, and also create projects and folders. You should have completed practice 3.1 to do this practice. You should also have an access to Oracle Object Storage buckets and Autonomous Data Warehouse instance. Make sure to download the di-user script.sql and target_prep.sql as part of course lab files. Let us learn to create an Oracle Object Storage data asset. Log into your assigned Oracle Cloud account. Navigate to the Data Integration Service page. The workspace homepage is displayed. Select Create Data Asset from the Quick Action style. On the Create Data Asset page, enter the details of the new dataset. The name, source underscore object storage underscore, Oracle username. Here it is ORE09. And give a description. Here our description is creating a data asset for object storage. For type, select Oracle Object Storage. Enter the URL for the Oracle Object Storage resource. The format should be https colon double slash object storage dot region identifier dot oraclecloud.com. Here it is object storage dot us hyphen ashburn1 dot oraclecloud.com. Enter the namespace for the Oracle Object Storage bucket. Find the tenant OCID. You can see the name and the tenancy information. Copy and paste it in tenant OCID. Enter the namespace. Here it is OCU OCI C TRNG6. Under default connection settings, enter a name and description. Let the name be source. Give an optional description and click Test Connection. A success or failure message appears. So you can see that it is successful. Click Create. The data asset creation message appears as shown here. To see the source files in object storage, click Buckets. Select the compartment that has been allocated to you. Click Source underscore Data Integration. The data entities are displayed as shown here. To view the attributes of data entity, click channels.csv. Specify the parameter options. Choose the file type as CSV and hash header as yes, and keep the other parameters by default. Click Get Attributes to fetch the data entity's attributes. It displays the data entity attributes as shown here. Next, Let us learn to prepare the target database, that is, Autonomous Data Warehouse. In the OCI console navigation menu, select Autonomous Data Warehouse. From the list of databases, select the database in your allocated compartment. Here it is data integration underscore ADW. On your autonomous database details, click Tools. On the Tools tab, click Open SQL Developer Web. When prompted, log in with the admin credentials for your autonomous data warehouse database and click Sign in. Grant necessary roles by running diuser script.sql file in the workspace. The script is executed successfully. Now, copy and paste the target underscore prep.sql script in the worksheet as mentioned in your activity guide. Click Run Script. You can see that it is run successfully. Next, let us learn to create an autonomous data warehouse asset. You need to download the ADW wallet file. Click the DB connection and click the Download Wallet button. You will be prompted to create a wallet password. Use welcome underscore 1234. Download the wallet zip file to your computer. Close. On the Workspace homepage, select Create Data Asset from the Quick Actions tile. On the Create Data Asset page, enter the details of the new data asset. The display name should be target underscore ADW underscore Oracle username. In our case, it is ORA09. Provide an optional description. Here, it is creating a data asset for Autonomous Data Warehouse. From the Data Asset Type drop-down list, you have to select Oracle Autonomous Data Warehouse. For credential file, click Select File or drag a wallet file. So this is the same wallet file you downloaded earlier. Enter the service name. You can select high, low or medium. Under the default connection settings, enter the name and an optional description. Here the name is target. And enter the username and password for autonomous database user. In our case, it is DI user and password is welcome underscore 1234. Click Test Connection. a success or failure message appears. As you can see, the connection is successful. Click Create. The data asset creation message appears. To see the target tables in Autonomous Data Warehouse, click Schemas. Click DI User. The data entities are displayed as shown here. To view the attributes of data entity, click on customers underscore target underscore 09. This displays the data entity attributes. Next, let us learn to create a project. Click Create Project in the Quick Action style. Enter the project name and an optional description. In our case, it is project underscore data integration underscore ORA09. Description is creating a project for data integration. After entering, click Create. It displays the project homepage. Next, let us learn to create folder. After selecting the project, click the Create Folder option. Enter the name of the folder. Here it is Integration. Click Create. It displays the folder page as shown here. Thank you. You are in Lesson 5.